Hey guys, so this video is finally an introduction to the SUV that I replaced my XFR with. Many of you have been wondering what it is, so I'm going to take you around the car, tell you a little bit more about it and show you a little bit about it. And before I do that, I just want to mention that there is another YouTube channel called Racer69. The guy's name is Shane Cox, and he has done some really interesting videos on his Jaguar XFR. So if you are missing the content that I did on my XFR, head over to his channel and go give him some love. And he has done quite a lot of interesting mods on his XFR, some that I actually didn't even do to mine. So go check out his channel and go and have a look at all his videos that he's done in the past. He's done quite a few videos up to now, and I follow him religiously because I still enjoy Jaguar content. His videos are very descriptive as well and very helpful if you're planning on doing some of the mods that he's done to his car as well. So let me take you around this car and show you a little bit more about this, and let's see what you guys think of it. So to get into this thing, you can't just pull the door handle and get in. It doesn't have keyless entry. You have to use the key fob. Now to climb into this thing, you have to use the grab handle over here and then step onto the side step and climb into it like that. So the position is actually fairly commanding, I must admit. It's extremely high off the ground. I haven't checked the ground clearance on it yet. I haven't even looked at the specs, to be honest, but I do know the specs of the engine because that I did check out before I bought it. It's extremely hot, so I don't want to pull the car into the sun. It's around 30 degrees here today, and so I'm going to try and show you inside, and I apologize if the footage is a little bit bad. Now I apologize for the noise in the background. Our neighbor is renovating his house, so there's very little I can do about that. But I just want to tell you guys a little more about this car. This is a Ford Everest 2.2 diesel, and it's an XLT. It's not the top of the range Everest. You get a 3.2 V6, which is the top of the range one, and that is very powerful, but that one gets a leather dash, which mine doesn't have, but it's still very soft to the touch. All of this is soft to the touch. Now from a convenience perspective, we have dual zone climate control in the front, and we have climate control in the rear for rear passengers. We have a standard handbrake over here, and the transmission is a 6-speed Ford transmission. It's not a ZF transmission like Jaguar use. We have two 12-volt sockets over here. I have already bought a OEM style dash cam from AliExpress. We have a center armrest over here as well, as you can see over there, and the armrest is nicely placed. My Mazda had an armrest as well, but the armrest was so far back that you couldn't actually use it while driving. You couldn't rest your arm there if your hands got tired on a long trip. So this is the home screen of the Ford Sync 3 system. You've got your USB music. Well, you've got your music, so if you've got radio or whatever you've got over there, right now I'm playing a song, so you can go sources and you can choose FM radio and it'll go to that. And if you want your USB, which is what I'm using to play my music through, then it'll show that. But over here we have Android Auto, and just go to Maps, and there's my Google Maps. I'm hoping you guys can actually see this. And if we go out of that, you've got all your apps over here, and I've got Cigic as well as Waze on mine. And if you want to go back to the Ford system, you just press the Ford icon and it takes you back to the system. Over here we have our climate control, just like Jaguar. I've switched the climate control off right now, but if you turn it on, that's really what it looks like. And for those of you who have a Jaguar XF, this will be very familiar to you, so it's quite familiar to me. Right, so if we go to navigation, that is the car's OEM navigation system, which is fairly outdated right now. And even though I did an update, it really didn't help much. And this one will just take me to the phone settings. So you can change device, you can look at your contacts, phone keypad, etc. Now we also have a reverse camera on this car as well, and what I like is that it has dynamic guidelines as well when you're turning the steering wheel, and it has this little center line over here. Plus it has a picture of a car and it shows you your rear parking sensors. I don't have front parking sensors on this version, but you do get a version with front parking sensors as well. Now when you're backing up and you want to hook up to a trailer or something, you can actually press this plus button over here and it gives you a center line as well as a picture of your tow bar, so you can see exactly where you're lining up to your trailer. Right, so this is the instrument cluster over here. I turn on the ignition and all of this pops up. So basically what happens is on the left we can see over there, you can check your audio and your entertainment, and you can use the steering wheel controls to control that. On the right hand side we have another screen, so there are two TFT screens here, and on the right hand side we have another screen, and that shows you your fuel, and you can also change it to show you fuel economy. So looking at the interior, these are the seats that it's fitted with, and the support that you have here on the side bolsters is quite good enough for me. There's the armrest I told you guys about. And this is the center console, very, very basic. Down there we have our USB, and those light up as well, by the way. And then over here we have our diff lock, electronic diff lock, which you can use on the go at low speeds if you're driving in a straight line. And then we have our ASR anti-skid regulation, which you can turn off, which I don't recommend. If this was a 4x4, which it isn't, it's a 2x4, this would have had your different drivetrain modes. And this is what the door cards look like. Very, very simple. The door handles have a very chunky feel to them, you know, just like you'd expect from a truck. We've got lock and unlock there. And right here, we have a very soft padded leather. And over here we also have a stitched leather as well for your arms, so you're not going to hurt your arms while resting your arm on there. The mirrors do not open and close automatically when you unlock the car or lock it. They have a manual button here that you can push, and that will open and close the mirrors. If I press the button, the mirrors will unfold, and they'll fold in if I press the button again. Just below our mirror controls we have the headlight controls over here. So we have front fog lights, rear fog lights, and your interior ambient lighting control. This doesn't have any ambient lighting, but it just controls all the lighting on the, the controls over here, as well as your cluster. And this will actually work on the ambient lighting that I will be installing. I will be running it like I did on my Jag XF. I'll be running it from up here because these little buttons all light up and they're all controlled by this controller over here. Then I will be able to control all the ambient lighting brightness using these buttons over here as well. As you can see, we have these big trapezoidal headlights over here. Looking at it from this angle, you think I'm driving a Ford Ranger pickup truck. And that's why I call this thing a truck, because it's based on the Ford Ranger pickup truck. So the chassis, everything, same as the Ford Ranger pickup truck. But even though it is based on the pickup truck, it has a road quality feel to it. It drives smooth, it's not bouncy on the road, it doesn't feel like a pickup truck. We have a chrome grille over here, and yes, I do want to change this to a gloss black grille. And I've already investigated how that would need to be done, and again, it's a bumper off job. And down here we have our fog lights, and we have this silver trim over here. Now, just looking at these headlights, I have found various headlights that one can replace these with, because these are not HID lights, they are just standard halogen lights. Now, I have bought LED bulbs to replace these bulbs with, and I'm planning on doing a conversion. You get these headlights and they've made them to look like a Ford Mustang. You also get others that have a DRL that goes all the way around, and it's a dynamic turn signal and all this kind of thing. And I'll pop up some pictures of what they look like while I'm busy talking now. But I do like the look of them, but unfortunately not all of them come in right-hand drive. Now to get into the rear, once again you have to grab the handle, step on the rail, and you can climb in. And rear legroom is amazing. I'm going to show you guys, this is a 7-seater by the way, and I'm going to show you guys what it looks like in the back. There's actually ample legroom because these seats are all the way back and you can actually move them forward, if I can get it to do that. So that's as forward as it will go. So if you've got a really long-legged person sitting in the back and you've got a short-legged person sitting over here, there's still enough leg room over here, even though my knees are touching the bottom here, but there's a cutout here behind the front seats which really helps. But you can lock it in that position there. I've still got ample leg room and the rear passenger will still have enough leg room as well. Now all of these seats fold down. The rear seats fold down, including these seats over here. Quite amazing because I can actually sit in the middle and I've still got ample leg room. And you can even put your feet on the center hump because the hump isn't very high. Over here, we have the rear climate control. We also have a 12-volt socket over here in case anyone wants to charge their phones, but it would have been nice to have some USB ports here in the back. So here we have our rear vents, and for those sitting right at the back, they also have their own vents as well. So it's kind of like sitting in an airplane. What I like is that the grab handles are also soft release, and we have these little hooks here in case you have a jacket. There are also hooks for the rear guys. Now to get in the back, you're supposed to pull this lever over here, pull this seat forward, and then climb in through this narrow little opening. I can't do that. So what I do is I pull this lever over here and the seat goes down and you can climb into the back. And you've got to kind of climb your way into the back. And this is the first time I've actually sat in the back of this thing. Just pull the seat back up. Now I don't know how I'm going to get out of here. I'm 6 feet tall, and this is where my legs would be sitting in the third row. It is suited for adults, for 2 adults. I wouldn't put more than 2 back here, but I think that children would probably have a better time sitting here in the back than adults. Now, because this area doubles as the cargo area when these seats are down, we have some hooks over here. We even have cup holders for when there are passengers sitting here in the back, which is really nice. Now, as far as cup holders go, the second row passengers have the option of putting the center armrest down if there are just 2 people sitting back here. And we have this handy cup holder thing that pops out here, and it just slides neatly back. To get these seats down, all you have to do is pull these levers and you can get them down, and we have these handy tie straps here as well. So you just have to pull this and you can get them back up. So it's very easy. We also have headrests in the third row as well, which is handy. I don't normally have them up because I usually have the third row down. Now here we have another 12-volt socket, and there's a really handy cutout over here. Now you'll see these rails over here. These are actually in case you have a parcel shelf in the back. Now I don't have that. And then in here we have our jack and tools. Now if you're wondering where the spare tire is, the spare tire is actually underneath the rear of the car, and I haven't even had a look at that to see what would be needed if I need to change the tire. There's a nice storage compartment over here, so you can put whatever you want in there, and I've got some shopping bags in there. So looking at the cargo area, I don't know how many liters of water you could fit in here, but as far as I'm concerned, it's big enough to carry a large screen TV. There are more hooks over here. We also have some cargo hooks over there, and very handy to have indeed. I already showed you guys those cargo hooks in the third row passenger seats, and back here we have the subwoofer. Now, as far as the sound system is concerned, the sound that comes out of the system is very, very good. It has ample bass, it has ample treble, you can adjust your mid-range, you've got your balance and your fade here, and you can move this thing around to where you want the sound. It's really amazing. And we also have adaptive volume. I've got it on high. You can set your DSP for all seats or driver only. So let's talk a little bit about the engine. Now, the hood is supported by gas struts, which is nice. Other brands, and I won't mention names, but they have these little bonnet stays. Mazda. I did a video on changing my Mazdas, but this is the 2.2 diesel lump. Now, this engine produces 118 kilowatts of power, and the bandwidth of the torque is between 1500 and 2500 RPM. Anything higher than that, I've realized, if you try and rev the crap out of it, it just runs out of steam. Those of you who watched my video on why I sold my XFR will know that the reason I sold it was because of this, the wheels. I kept damaging the wheels, and I bought this truck because it was the only SUV on the South African market that had really, really high profile tires. And these are 265/60 18-inch. So we have 18-inch wheels and we have a 60 profile, but I feel that this is ample not to have to worry about potholes anymore. I can go anywhere I want. Now, I love the wheels on this truck, and I'm not going to get black wheels for it. I'm not going to get bigger wheels for it. I'm not going to paint these black. I'm keeping them stock standard because I really think they look nice. And I want to show you a close-up of what they look like, because they are they look like they're diamond cut. Now, this rim's very dirty, so to be honest, I don't think I've washed it since I've had it, really. We have a nice dark metallic insert on the inside, and then the outer edge is this diamond cut ridge. It adds to the overall ruggedness of the truck. Now, coming around the back, we have these C-clamp shape headlights, and these are very Ford. At the time when they were designing this thing, Ford was using this LED design shape, and I'll just unlock the car so you can see what they look like. But they were using this double LED shape on quite a few of their sedans. I think the Ford Fusion or the Ford Taurus. Unfortunately, these do not light up over here, which is a shame. And you do get replacements for these where they actually do light up entirely, so you've got a longer C-clamp shape over here, and I am thinking of doing that. You do get one as well with a dynamic indicator, but this is currently the indicator. If I unlock it, you can see that's the indicator, and this is the backup light. So that's it on my SUV, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the walk around and the show and tell. Let me know what videos you'd actually like to see with this thing, because I do plan on doing a few mods to it. Like I said, I'm planning on doing interior ambient lighting, planning on doing a bit of wood trim wrap, and maybe the taillights and the headlights replacement, and obviously the dash cam as well. But I will be taking it on a few excursions. I mean, we live close to the cradle of mankind, which is about 150 kilometers from where we live right now, so it's a place I've never been to, so I've been thinking of maybe going there, but I need to have the dash cam fitted before I can do that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what kind of content you guys like to see with this truck. Would you like to see me doing mods to it? Would you like to see me taking it out and about? That will probably entail needing a drone if I take it out into the wilderness, because drone footage really is the best kind of footage for that thing, and I don't have a drone currently, so I would need to invest in a drone for the channel. So let me know what you think. And don't forget, go to Racer69's YouTube channel, Shane Cox. Go and check out his channel. He's doing some really great work there for Jaguar. And he has a really stunning black XFR as well, which has been chipped and tuned and everything has been done to it. So that thing is really, really awesome. And it sounds good too. So he did quite a lot of mods that I would have liked to have done to my car, but I just didn't keep it long enough. So thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the next video. Cheers.